Yo, guys, what up, what up, what up? Welcome, 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 welcome. It is your favorite Chelsea show in the world with your boy HH, your boy Abdullahi, your boy Daniel, and your boy Eddie. We are here to give you that best content, that beautiful content, that amazing, incredible content that is, of course, the complicated Chelsea show where we give you the realest views and thoughts with regards to Chelsea. So let's just tell you what's on the show. Real Madrid. That's the top of the show. General reaction of the Real Madrid game, our thoughts, and we have to have another conversation about Timo Werner. Well, we're gonna have to have yet another conversation about Timo Werner, and then an interesting story broke. It was trending today on Twitter. Lukaku. A belief that Chelsea are thinking of a 90 million bid to bring in Lukaku if they fail with the Erling Haaland bid. So we'll think about that and see the permutations of what that could be about. So,
in terms of the Haaland, in terms of Lukaku, we need to give Daniel a props because he was one that was saying, bring Lukaku, he doesn't want Haaland. I think Daniel needs to speak about Lukaku because he was one that was shouting, give me Lukaku. Lukaku. I don't want Haaland.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not partially for Lukaku, but we'll get there because I have no views on Lukaku.
I'm eating.
Oh, you're eating. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, how kind of it? So look, let's write. So Real Madrid, man. Real Madrid. I was very surprised by Chelsea's performance. I didn't think Chelsea would play that well. And you see, here's the thing: it's a bit complicated because Real Madrid were forced into the formation that they played, and it's also the formation that they normally play because they live and die by the 4-3-3. So they had to play a back three because Mendy was missing. So obviously he wanted Marcelo as a wing back to remove his defensive capabilities. But my thing about it, so despite whatever the formation was, Real Madrid found it very hard to break down Chelsea. And it just seemed as if they were really struggling to score, which just shows you what kind of player like a Benzema is, how he was able to squeeze through. Because I actually want to leave Pulisic as a separate topic. So I wanted us to just talk about this in full. Then I want us to talk about Pulisic, then we'll talk about that more on Timo Werner. But I was very impressed, and I think that because whenever people say, okay, predict how the game is going to go, I'm like, I need to watch the first leg. You can't tell me what's going to happen over two legs when I've not seen how both of these teams look in the first leg. Now, things can always change in the second leg. And the first leg, it's halftime now. This is not a 90 minutes game, it's a 180 minutes game. But my thing is that over those 90 minutes, I saw a particular setup. And in that setup that I saw, Real Madrid have to do a lot of thinking to try and break down this Chelsea team. They have to think long and hard. And I always said that just get it in a away goal. Get it in a away goal. Because for me, 2-1 would have been, okay, that's a pretty good first leg result to go into the second leg with the away team. But the fact that it was 1-1, Chelsea could have won the game. They played really well. They took Real Madrid totally out of their element. Real Madrid struggled. Kante was a flipping beacon shining through, and Kante totally dominated that midfield. It has given Tuchel and the team serious confidence that, hey, wait a minute, we can realistically go through. Again, there is a long way to go through, and you're going to see a difference to Real Madrid in the second leg. But my thinking was Real would outplay Chelsea. Chelsea would suffer. They would just hang in there. And maybe it would end up being like a 2-1 or like a 1-0. But Chelsea, more than held their own, had periods where they were dominating. Real Madrid couldn't really find any openings. Vinicius was pretty much inconsequential. So it was like, okay, whoa. Maybe this could be something. Maybe you could really see Chelsea causing Real Madrid further issues, specifically if the attack is tied up, and which is why we have to deal with that moron as a striker. But for me, overall, you have to take this with a grain of salt, because you're playing a back three Real Madrid. You're not playing a 4-3-3 Real Madrid. So you're playing a Real Madrid who operates very differently with a back three. So I would now like to now see, okay, now how do you now face them when they now go to their natural 4-3-3? But my thing though is, even if they go to a 4-3-3, it is still a tough team to break down, because what you saw was, if you give Vinicius space, as Liverpool did and Barcelona do, he's going to hurt you. But if you don't give Vinicius space, there's very little that he can do. So if they now go to a Hazard, I don't think is really the kind of... Even if Hazard looks pretty good and sharp for those 10 minutes, he really hasn't played enough for him to really make an impact in a very vital second leg against Chelsea. So that's where I'm at. I'm just... Overall, a surprisingly good performance, a surprisingly calm performance. For all those hardcore Chelsea fans, this is why Tuchel was an upgrade. Use xenophobic psychopaths. And Tuchel is just proving to himself that, this guy is a tactician, because that performance, yes, Kante did well, Rudiger did well, policy, quality. But you saw Tuchel has really drilled a very specific mindset, tactic, formation, and personality into this team. So it sets things up for a very interesting second leg where Real Madrid now have to try and figure out and get some answers, man. Abdullah, talk to me about the Real Madrid.
I wasn't surprised the way we play, because it's we have that performance before under Tuchel, when it's like sometimes we play well and sometimes we play bad. It's the way Tuchel wants to play. So the way we play Madrid, I was a bit shocked, because to go to play against Luka Modric, Toni Kroos, and Casemiro with that way we play, I was massively surprised. And we don't even we dominated it to the extent that Madrid only had one shot on target. That was Karim Benzema goal. That was only the shot on target they had. For the whole 90 minutes, Real Madrid did not play on it. They look like Bournemouth or Sheffield United. That's how they play. That is how that's how bad Real Madrid look when they play against Chelsea. So I think props needs to be given to Thomas Tuchel, the way he set up the team and the way he's been setting Chelsea up in terms of stabilize that defense, not conceding goals, and making sure we take our chances. And HH, I've been saying this again, and like I keep saying, I don't want to repeat it again. Limolena.
We'll get to no. Don't mention his name. He's a separate topic. Okay. Don't mention his name now. He's a separate topic.
Overall performance, I am impressed with the way we play. In the second leg, I'm confident, because I believe this is what I talk about, the mentality of the player. Under Lampard, under Antonio Conte, we had that same mentality. I like the kind of mentality of this player, like Dave, Aspilicueta, Pulisic, Rudiger. The mentality they have in the dressing room, the togetherness in them as a fans make me so happy, because we've made that togetherness in them for a very long time. Fight for each other, fight for the ball for each other, play for each other, defend as a team, attack as a team. That is what we've been missing in the Chelsea team. The like of John Terry, Cavao, Ashley Cole, Branislav Ivanovic, John Obi Mikel. They have that core that they want to fight as a team with each other, and that is what we've been missing, those core. And this kind of player have that mentality. Milo de Nevo, I am impressed, especially the transformation of Antonio Rudiger is second to none.
And he was the guy that played that
Antonio Rudiger transformation in Chelsea Football Club is something I did not expect. This transformation under him is sublime, and he has been impressing not only me, majority of Chelsea who has written him off already for a very long time. I'm impressed. I can't say much, because I want to see. I cannot wait for the second leg to play. How I wait tomorrow is Wednesday. So we could be able to play that match. That's how impressed I am.
That's Chelsea already in the final.
No, I am confident. I'm intrigued, to put it this way, that to see how the second leg is gonna fold. But as a fan, I am confident. But second leg is gonna come, so I want to see how we play. But I am confident as a fan of going to the final.
All right, Daniel.
I haven't thought too much about this thing. So now I feel pressure to come up with something to say.
Don't worry, you can deal under pressure, bro.
Nah, it was a good performance. The first half more so than the second half. I felt like Madrid, when they came out in the back three system, maybe because of players, but also maybe Zidane thinking, I know what Tuchel's gonna do, so let me try to match systems.
No, he said Tuchel was already planning for a back four, then he switched it back because Tuchel already knows he's gonna play back four. That was the reason he switched it back to a back three. Because Tuchel already said that he already had a plan already to work with the back four for Zidane.
Well, Zidane, probably knowing that, was thinking, why not try back three? But obviously, personnel would have made that an easier decision. Yeah, I felt like Real Madrid didn't show up until Pulisic scored, so it was hard to tell, were Chelsea playing well or were Madrid just not themselves. And then you add, like, you're missing Mendy, you're missing Valverde, you're missing Ramos. There's a bunch of players out. So it was hard to judge how good Chelsea were. And then after the Pulisic goal, I felt like Real Madrid really stepped up and they played better. And going into the second half, I felt like Madrid had the advantage, especially after Benzema found the equalizer. But something happened at halftime where both teams were kind of like, 1-1 feels kind of good. Let's not waste or damage what we could do in the next 90 minutes. So Chelsea were happy with their away goal, no doubt. Don't do anything crazy to get 2-1, which gives you more work to do at Stamford Bridge. And that kind of put the onus on Real Madrid to create. And, he took off Vinicius and put on Hazard. That wasn't too effective. But yeah, it was up to Real Madrid to find the way through. I felt like there were maybe one or two instances where they could have done a bit better, with Kroos finding a final ball or Modric finding a final ball, but they didn't. So for me, it was more a story of what Madrid did and didn't do rather than what Chelsea did and didn't do. So yeah, that's kind of my assessment.
But wasn't it more of a case of what Chelsea did took Real Madrid out of their elements rather than Real Madrid playing badly? I don't think Real played badly. I
think Madrid took themselves out of their element by the formation change. When they switched, I know, but when they switched back to something that was a bit more what they were used to, with kind of like Marcelo playing like I think someone called it like a free roll defender or like a free roll left back. Like he was just going any and anywhere, kind of like as a central midfielder, and they had kind of like more back four principles. I felt like Madrid played better. It's just that they didn't capitalize when they had the chance. Obviously they scored from a set piece, but yeah, I think Chelsea would look at the 1-1 result and feel like the way that we played in those first 30-35 minutes, that we only got one goal and the game finished 1-1, I felt like they could have done better, or we should have done better if you're looking from a Chelsea perspective. So I felt like the dressing room probably would feel like 1-1's good. Like, we weren't killed, but we could do better, or we should have done better given the opportunities that were there. We'll get to why some of those chances didn't go how they should, but Chelsea made the chances to get 3 or 4 goals. Obviously, you're not going to score all of them, but you think you'd make more than one. So I think Madrid in the second leg will put it this way. Madrid have an advantage knowing that they need to go there and score. And Chelsea are already now, they already play a more pragmatic defensive system. I suffer to think what the mentality of the players combined with how Tuchel plays, what does that do in the second leg?
Yes.
Because Madrid are going to come out on the front foot. They have no choice. We know we have to go to Stamford Bridge and score at least once, probably twice or 3 times. If Chelsea are just like, let's just sit back and defend, 2009 does come to mind, where it's just like defend. They get a chance, and you're out.
I mean, I think for the second leg, see, this 1-1 is such a weird scoreline. Because for Real Madrid, it's simple. We have to just go out there and just win. Chelsea is, you could have been, as you just said, they could be caught between 2 months because they're like, oh, well,
a clean sheet gets you to the final.
Yeah, if we
a
had
clean sheet gets you to the final.
But that's stupid. But see, basically, if let's say I was Tuchel,
you can't. Yeah, it's not 2010.
Forget that. You have to just go with the approach of beat these guys. Just your psychology and mentality should be, let's win. Basically, because I remember I was playing a game in school ages ago, years ago, and I think we won the first half like 2-0 or 3-0, like easily beating them. I remember like our coach telling us that, guys, forget the first half, it's 0-0. Play the second half as 0-0. So I think if you can instill the mentality that don't even think it's 1-1, don't even think that you're winning, you're not winning. It's still 0-0. Go out there with the mindset of beat them, win the game on the ground.
Because even if Chelsea score first, it doesn't change the dynamic for Madrid.
Yeah.
Because of Benzema's goal, that equalizes the first goal that Chelsea were if Chelsea score. So it's still just go there and get a goal, and the worst that happens if Chelsea only reply with one, either you win or you get extra time. And then in that extra time, you get 30 more minutes to score another away goal. Right? So the mentality for Madrid is we go there, we have to score. Chelsea can be caught in two minds where if we defend this and you stay stuck in that mentality, you could waste 45 minutes of a game where you could have killed it. So that's the tricky part. If you look at like the City PSG, Man City are in a far better position to try to play that defensive game because of the goals that they scored.
Do you know what I've always said is like one away goal is never really that big a deal. I've always said the away goal only really comes to life when it's 2-3. 2 and above is when the away goal really comes to life.
Not if you're Roma. Not if you're Roma.
What do you mean? Oh.
They got 2, but you let in 6 or 7. I'm not sure, but I think 6. So.
6. It was 6. No. Yeah, well,
I think the second level is a little bit dicey for me as a fan because, like I said, it's all about. It depends on the mentality of the players. I don't know how to put it in English.
How would they improve? Okay. How would you want them to approach it?
See, I would want us to like go on sit back and hit Madrid on a counter because we have to go on the front foot with them. We have to score goals. I don't want us to like just sit for 9 score goals because if we score goals, Madrid will come out. Because I told Monta and the other guys, I said if Madrid come out to play Chelsea, they are losing that match 100%. Because if they come out, you're giving Chelsea space to score goals. You are giving them space to score goals. So
but Madrid have to come out though, and
yes,
that's how Madrid play on the Zidane. Like they're a positive-minded team.
Yeah, that's why if they come out, they will have a problem in terms of notifying Chelsea. And I keep saying it, as long as N'Golo Kante is fit, Madrid has a problem because that guy was the dominator of that first leg. He dominated Toni Kroos, Casemiro, and Luka Modric. I keep saying it. People doesn't put him in their top 5 or top 10 in best.
They're stupid.
Yes, they don't put N'Golo Kante. They put Kimmich, Toni Kroos, Goretzka. I was like, what? What? So I kept wondering that how will we be putting Toni Kroos, Luka Modric? I get that Goretzka, Kimmich in your top 5, top 10 in the world, and no Kante there. So literally, Kante himself dominated 4 or 5 players who has already won UCL for Madrid back to back in a row. That speaks volume for me as a fan watching and say, whoa, he has to be respected because he's been disrespected a lot. Maybe because he's been injured, people doesn't rate him. N'Golo Kante has been disrespected a lot for me. And I keep saying it. If we win the UCL this year, we need to have a serious conversation about N'Golo Kante legacy as a player. We need to have a serious, a massive one. Because people doesn't rate him that high. I keep saying they don't rate him that high. We need to have a serious conversation about him.
I don't have a head and I'm bald, man.
They have hoods on. They have hoods on. They're ashamed.
Because I know Daniel. I've been saying that a lot about Kante because he rates Kante high. But no. Just quickly, I was just gonna say, like, do you remember these conversations you guys had of like, I asked if Chelsea played Bayern Munich a few months ago, do you think Kante plays? And we had a whole debate, 30-40 minutes about if Kante can get into a team with Jorginho and Kovacic. Now, obviously, Kovacic being gone removes that from this debate. But, guys, there's no world in which Kante doesn't start a big game. And I think we've all been proven right here, or at least I have.
No.
Eddie can't be here for reasons I don't know if we're allowed to say or not, but I needed him here if only for this game because he was on some. I think Jorginho and Kovacic could be the. Stop.
No. But the question we had was this is from Tuchel's point of view, and from Tuchel's point of view, and for what he wants to do, he wants Jorginho and Kovacic. But we all know that Kante. Basically, Kante is the first name on your team sheet. Then you think about everything else. But the issue was that we're putting ourselves in Tuchel's mindset. If it's me,
isn't it Mason Mount? Isn't Mason Mount the first name on the team sheet?
No. Well, naturally yes, but I'm just saying that it should be Kante. It is Mount and so forth.
Olga Mount.
And I love what Thomas Tuchel said about Kante because when they asked him about Kante, he said under Kante has been what Daniel has been saying, he has been mismanaged. He said N'Golo Kante has been mismanaged and misplayed a lot in terms of under Lampard and other managers. That he doesn't get much time to rest. He just keep putting him in Kante play this. He said he doesn't like it, but now he's happy to have a fully fit Kante who is ready to give his all for a match. That as a fans make me happy because now we are blessed with a world-class player of N'Golo Kante. So I'm not seeing Kante play this way. I'm not surprised because he has this ability to do it.
I do have one small issue with the Kante love train. A lot of this feels still like, damn, he runs a lot, man. Do you see how much he runs? Damn, he runs a lot. Look at how much he runs.
Did you see the Chelsea
70% of the earth is covered by N'Golo. No, 70% of the earth is covered by water. The rest is covered by Kante, like shit like that. It feels like people still haven't moved on from just like, man, the stamina. How does he do it? Look at the pace that he has in the 90th minute to keep running. It's just like, watch him and you'll understand, like, you can. What's interesting is if you watch him enough and if you have a general understanding of football or if you've played it, you can kind of see his mind work. And you can think, well, this Modric is going to try to pass here, so let me get in this passing lane. Whereas other people just think, oh, no, he's running everywhere like a headless chicken. Like, no, there is a systematic intelligence to where he's positioning himself and where he's going. And that gets lost in the physical attributes. And I feel like in 2021, he's been around, at least in people's consciousness, since 2015 with Leicester. 6-7 years, and we're still like, look at the legs, look at the stamina, look at the pace, look at the. I think no. Basically, Daniel, look, it's deeper than that, but it's just every time he has a good game, it's just down to he runs a lot.
My problem is
it's hella annoying.
No, I'll get to basically. Look, should we be real? Let's be real.
I know why it exists, but we have to express that it's stupid, right?
I know, and I'll spell it out. He's dark skinned. Abdullah, raise your head. Abdullah, remove your hand from your face. Abdullah, I'm not gonna continue to remove your hand from your face so I can see your face. Allah, remove your hand from. I told you, remove your hand from your face because I will not continue to remove your hand. Good.
Do you know
I want to see your face.
Kante is from Mali.
So Kante.
It's from Mali.
Abdullah,
I'm serious.
He is. I know. He is.
So basically, Kante is dark skinned. And the way that he looks like, it is easy. Like whites, they can't resist. Whites can't resist. When they just look at his face, you will not convince any white man aged 30 or 25 and over that guy is an intelligent, technical player. Hell no. You'll have to kill them for them to admit. For a white guy looking at Kante, a dark-skinned African man like that, this guy is a runner. But if you've played football, and guys, I didn't play every position. I played central midfield. When you look at what Kante does, you have to read. It is the most difficult position in football is midfield, and it just wasn't difficult because of physicality. It's because the amount of brain work that is needed. And I need to say this to this English commentators who are like, pace and power. Football is in my opinion, football is the most difficult sport in the world. It is highly technical. It is a very difficult sport. And when you look at what Kante does, as Dan just says, there's a lot of thinking that goes on in terms of, let me stand here. If I go here, I know he's going to go here. Let me move there. This is how far I need to move the ball. Let me come and bring the ball here. Let me play this pass here. Let me position myself here.
Even when he has the ball, knowing to take the space. knowing the
Decision-making.
runs to make, like just being
Decision-
in the right places. These aren't an accident. And if having great stamina and just running around, like how come there aren't like 25,000 great Kenyan midfielders
Yeah.
in football? Like they don't exist. Like just having stamina and being good at running marathons, you would
That's
think
not how
like
football works.
you-
It's not
you-
how
you-
football works.
you would think the Kenyan national team would
Yeah.
have hella AFCONs, or the Ethiopians would have hella. They don't. Like just having the stamina to run a lot
No. This
doesn't equal success.
Listen, people like football,
You
whether
have
you
to
like it
know
or not.
football. Like, it's
Maybe see football, whether you like it or not, is a thinking man's sport. If all you can give me is pace and power, you're trash. We're gonna get to pace.
pace and power.
I'm lucky, raise your hand. I'm lucky, raise your hand right now. I'm lucky, raise your hand right now.
If
I was like, we're going
if
to get to
if Timo Werner was black, do you think he'd be a Chelsea player?
hell no.
If Timo Werner is black, he needs to go back to Africa, to go back
No.
to Lagoon to watch him. Oh my god!
Timo Werner has a profession because he's blonde and white and has blue eyes.
You
That's
remember?
how he has
No,
a profession.
Timo Werner
he's-
needs to be
he's
playing
there
for
because he's fast.
IWAF sprint runner. That's what he needs to be playing
He's
for.
fast.
IWAF.
And people see the speed that he has, and they equate speed as a good attribute. But then all of the subtle privileges and benefits that you get from being how he looks like, you just bundle that in with the speed, and obviously he should be a good player because pace plus German plus whatever. It doesn't work like that. Like
Okay,
there
look.
has to be something more than the physical attributes. Otherwise, it doesn't work. It can't work. So yeah, just the what am I trying to say? The love fest that I saw for Kante, a lot of it was still rooted in the work and not the thinking behind the work, and that annoys me. But yeah, it's a dead horse, perhaps.
I would love to ask Daniel something.
Oh,
Maybe because of his injuries. HH, and I want to ask you too.
oh.
We don't read Conte a lot. Maybe because he's been injured under maybe he's been injured under Sarri, the way he plays under Sarri. For me, I still think is being underrated because people say when they name their top 10 and I laugh, I'm hearing Modric, Toni Kroos, Goretzka, Kimmich, I'm hearing Pirlo, I'm hearing Lampard. I say, okay, where do you rate Kante? They say Kante is like top 20, top 50. I say, what? Top 20, top 50? Whoa, really? So I think we need to have a serious one, a serious conversation about N'Golo Kante as a player and his legacy in terms of him as a player. Because for me, he's been underrated. People doesn't rate him that high. That's because he plays for Chelsea. He doesn't have the ability as a player. He can't pass. He can't do this. But I just watched that Tuesday match and I saw a player dominated a team that has won 3 Champions League back to back in a row. Players, Modric, Kroos, Casemiro, that have won 3 UCL in a row. We need to have a serious one about N'Golo Kante. He's been underappreciated a lot.
We have to wait because I want this to be finished. We don't have a fuller picture. It's halftime.
I know.
So after the second, because I don't want to jump the gun. I don't want this to be a case of Kante. Second, he drops a disaster class. Modric has a master class, and Chelsea gets beat 5-1. So again, I don't want that to happen. So
if Chelsea win the Champions League and France win the Euros,
yes,
does Kante get on the Ballon d'Or podium?
Daniel, he has to win the Ballon d'Or because for me, if N'Golo Kante, I keep saying I already asked Muntaha, if Kante wins the UCL, the FA Cup, and France win the Euro, N'Golo Kante has to be 1, 2, or 3 in the Ballon d'Or podium. He has to. No excuse. People are saying Kylian Mbappe, Phil Foden. N'Golo Kante has to be in that podium. He has to. He's been underappreciated a lot. He has been a lot. He's on a world-class level. For me.
I do just worry he'd be on the stage from a myopic reason. Like the reason they would give it to him isn't the reason he should get it, even though he deserves it.
So why do you think they'll get? So what? Like BLM or?
No. In the sense that they would focus a lot on the running or just the work rate. But
has a top 3 guy ever got that based on work rates?
That's what I'm saying. I feel like if they did it, it would be for a myopic reason. And
you can't get there based on work rates, bro. Hence why it's going to be difficult for him to get top 3 because it's so political.
They don't respect it.
Yeah, it is heavily favored towards attacking flair players. That, for me, it's going to be impossible for Kante to get top 3 because it's too political, and people won't appreciate what he does because what he does wouldn't be as appreciated as what, like, let's say, a Haaland, Messi, Benzema do, or De Bruyne does.
I think it favors Conte because the Ballon d'Or is from France, and if he wins the Champions League with Chelsea, wins the FA Cup of this stuff, and he wins the Euro, that is a serious competition will be talked about because it's on the Ballon d'Or.
Let's see what happens in the Euros, though.
Let's move. Let's want to move. So you know what? Let's deal with this guy now. Let's deal with this man now. Let's do this, man.
Turbo Timo.
Let's do this. You know, I said after I did like a post-match review on the Chelsea West Ham game, and I actually said that I double dare this guy to miss a 1v1. Now let's study that chance because people have said that was a great save by Courtois.
Did you see what Courtois said to Giroud?
Yeah. He said, I only put my leg there.
He said, all I did was stick my leg out.
That's it. That's it.
But what's it called?
And Mount was looking at Thibaut Courtois with like the stink face. I think he knew they were talking about that, but he probably didn't understand French. So he was just like,
no. But what's it called? I was watching ESPN FC, and like I think Shaka Hislop said something interesting. So obviously Shaka Hislop being a keeper, he said that.
Big up Shaka.
Courtois, because he knew that it's a striker low on confidence, and I was like, how? Before I say this, is that I'm not sure how true this can be because this is a split-second decision. But Shaka said that because Courtois knows that Werner is low on confidence, he didn't even gamble on going either side. He just, because he knew that if you're low on confidence, he's just going to go straight. But he said that a striker with confidence will try and go to the corners.
He could have taken a touch if he wanted.
No. You just have no time. It seems as if you could have time. That's a situation quick. But even if it is quick, aim for the corners. Why would you aim straight?
I said that, you know.
Why would you aim straight?
I don't think he's not aiming. That's the point. He just got his foot to it and hoped that it would go where it goes. Like to make the assumption that Timo Werner was aiming straight, that doesn't even make sense. He just got his foot to, I think it was Azpilicueta headed it across. He just put his foot on it and hoped the goal is big.
No, it wasn't Pulisic. It was Pulisic.
Was it Pulisic? Okay.
Yeah.
So Pulisic heads it across. Timo Werner's just like, get your foot to it and make sure it's on target. I'm sure that's all he's thinking. Just put it on target. The goal's big. Courtois isn't as big as the goal. If I get it on target, fine. If you're looking at current Benzema, he's aiming to put it in a particular place. Suarez is aiming to put it in a particular place. Lewandowski is aiming for a particular spot in the goal. Haaland, Lukaku, Kane, etc. The best finishers in world football are aiming for a particular spot because they know where the goalkeeper is, even peripherally. Timo Werner, short on confidence. I don't even know if he was full of confidence if he's able to do this. Just put it on target, and hopefully the best thing happens. And Thibaut Courtois, he was just, I don't know. Just great reactions, but also taking advantage of a player who's not aiming.
No, I mean, because from those situations, sometimes you can be like, because you're so close, if you just put it on target with enough power, it goes through the keeper's legs due to the speed of it and how far away you're from goal. So you can give a bit of credit for Courtois for being quick enough to save it with his legs and prevent it from going underneath his legs. But from that range, again, if you have confidence, you would have the confidence to be like, as soon as this ball comes, corner, bottom left, bottom right. But because you're low on confidence and so many of the misses have built up, you can tell that there's that pressure upon you and that hesitation of like, oh my God, another chance. Will I miss or like that? So because that pressure is upon you, like, oh, just hit it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, now
or maybe he was thinking like, where's Mason Mount? Can I square this?
Yeah.
Can I take a touch and square it? And by then the ball's already.
And also, did you see his I think it was Pulisic again who did that kind of like cross. And I was like, man, if that was Giroud, that's it. Where it just skimmed at the top of his head, Werner's head. I was like, my gosh, if that was Giroud, that's an easy header for Giroud. But for me, my thing is what I asked Tuchel before I come to like is what's the point in keeping on playing him because my thing is you look at the West Ham game, he scores. Oh wow, confidence up. Then he misses an open goal. Boom. So we're now back to square one because you'd hope that okay, you've scored that, build upon that. Like the hope was score that, just sub him off. After he scored against West Ham, sub him off, so he's now good. But because the next thing he did was you missed an open goal after man's hit, you're like, oh gosh, yeah, we're now back to this guy being a loser. So again, for me, I think he is beyond reproach. I don't think it's a point of no return. So, I'm lucky, man.
Doesn't beyond reproach mean good?
Daniel, look, no one needs your explanation, man. Just let people accept lucky.
Like if you're beyond reproach,
Daniel, for fuck's sake, man, this isn't dictionary.co.uk. This is a complicated Chelsea show. Abdullahi, man.
Just saying.
How do we save this man?
I need the dictionary to assess Timo Werner. He is the most confused human being I've ever seen in my life.
Confused
human being I've ever seen in my life. In my whole life since watching football. Timo Werner is the most confused player I've ever seen in my life.
How so, man?
I was the West Ham match. I was that West Ham match. Timo Werner missed a free post that is like just to you. He missed it, and again he did the same stuff he did against West Ham. So people say, yeah, I understand Thibaut Courtois is very good in saving balls 1v1 in terms of ball, but someone with confidence. I don't rate Abraham as a number 9 chair, so Abraham will score that goal. I'm putting my money on Tammy Abraham to score that. I don't rate Abraham. He will score that goal. Yes, he will score that goal. Timo Werner is the most confused player I've ever seen in my whole life. It's not even about confidence. It's not even about confidence. It's not even about confidence at all.
This is a good debate.
Football IQ. What is football IQ? When you have someone that can all what he does is run with no end product. No end product. You can't be a professional player without end product. If you don't want to be a footballer, you can't be a boxer now. Start fighting, start boxing, or start fighting WWE. That's a better achievement for you than playing football.
Did you just tell Timo Werner to become a boxer?
Yes.
Yes.
Become a boxer. Start fighting. Yes. That's a better sport than playing football. I'm being serious now. I don't know what to qualify his name. I do not know what to qualify him. I don't know.
Let me ask you this. How did he become a professional football player?
Last week, Daniel said he needs to be playing for IWAF, that's a sprint runner. What is the difference between that?
What is the difference? I don't know if I said that.
What's the difference? No, running for 100 meter, 200 meter, 300 meter relay.
300 meters doesn't exist, but okay.
Relay race. It's better than playing football.
Yo.
It's like his new tape now is now IWA.
IAAF.
I'm serious. IAAF is better. I'm serious. Man.
Yo, has Germany ever won an Olympic sprinting medal? Well, yes, they have. They were doping. So
no,
okay.
If Germany was real, like if you want to get a gold, because look, black people keep winning this stuff. Timo Werner, I think if he trains hard, he can go under 9. So my thing is that Germany, don't use him for football, use him for the Olympics. The Olympics is this year.
Go under 9.
Yeah.
No, he can't.
Yeah. Like, if you want to win the Olympics, like
you say Timo Werner can't even go under 9, guys. Damn, man.
Bro, if Werner trains, he can do something. He can do something. Man.
I don't know what we call it in Africa. Is it inter-house sport? Is it inter-house sport we call it in Africa?
Oh my God! Wow,
Inter-house
it's a
sport.
house sport.
Timo Werner needs to go to a batting. He needs to do like exchange batting with his fellow people because I don't understand him anymore. It's not even a football player. He needs to run. Maybe exchange batting with someone else and run. Hey, let me take it in the next place. Let me run. That's what he needs to do.
Basically, because what's it called? Basically, I used to go. So basically, when I was in school in Nigeria, we still had this thing called inter-house sports.
Inter-house sport. That's what it is.
And basically, we had 4 houses, and they were all named after birds. So it was crane. Oh, well, thankfully not. So it was crane, kingfisher, heron, and I think it's weaver. Yeah, weaver. So obviously, weaver is yellow, crane red, kingfisher blue, heron was green. So I was in weaver, and they're all named after birds. And then so basically every single, I think it was at the end of every single term, we'd all basically do these athletics things all in the field.
Like a field day.
Yeah, basically a field day. So like obviously I was like the 100-meter guy, and I came second, unfortunately, to some dude.
I'm even having doubts that even if we go for 100-meter or maybe inter-house sport that they do, can he even become the first position? I doubt it. With the way
he's fast. No, I'm like, this guy's fast. This boy can run. This boy can run.
Wouldn't he stumble at the finish line?
He may.
No. But no. My thing is that the guy's issue is that he does not know how to play football. He can run. This guy can run. So if you just start Timo Werner, don't worry about control, first touch. A ball doesn't even exist. Look at that finishing line. Just go straight. Go straight. Don't kick, don't pass, don't control, just go, just keep running. Even beyond the finishing line, keep running beyond the finishing line. But the issue is football requires a brain. As Abdullahi will say, it requires that you have a brain. Abdullahi,
I don't think Timo Werner has a brain.
He does not have a brain. He's brainless. The guy. I don't think he has a brain. I just don't think a brain is functioning inside his head. So you're dealing with a guy who is senseless and brainless. So
I don't co-sign this.
Okay, I'm sorry, Dan, you don't co-sign this, but I do. I've already signed it.
No, so, okay. Debate question. Let's rank these strikers in terms of like their trashness. Okay, so we have, or just like high-profile goal-scoring signings. Okay, like these guys were meant to solve goals in Chelsea's team. Okay, we have. Let's start in chronological order. We have Shevchenko, Torres, Morata, and Werner. Mm-hmm. Who's the best? Who's the worst?
The worst is Werner. So
you're on track. You're on track.
The worst is Alvaro Morata.
The worst is Morata. Thank you,
not.
Abdullah.
No, it's not.
Yes. I will tell you the difference.
In terms of what? In terms of a footballer?
In terms of overall, in terms of transfer fee paid, in terms of the number of misses, in terms of how the career is going or ending, like Werner still at least has time. Morata, do you forget the number of 1v1 misses this guy had?
Oh my God,
consistently.
We paid 90 million for Alvaro Morata. Alvaro Morata missed like a post. He missed. Timo Werner we know Timo Werner has a problem, and the problem in Africa we call it Ogunde. Problem within. He has it. We know. It's problem within. We know it can be fixed because I'm serious. Imagine him being in Africa. He needs to go back home, like go back to the herbalist people or those shrine and pray for Timo Werner. Tell God Almighty. I'm serious. Almighty. We need to pray for Timo Werner, please. We need prayer for him, please. I'm serious.
Imagine if you just see like Timo Werner like inside like a village, and you just see like all these other people like praying over here.
Exactly. Pray. Just kneel down and pray. Oh my God.
Just see this
God,
like
please.
light-skinned pale dude in the middle of like Africa, just being prayed over by all these elders, and they're just putting.
I'm imagine him drinking like the Black Panther serum and shit.
He need that. He need that for his brain. He needs it exactly for his entire body. He needs
it. Wait, what does it say? The Black Panther.
He said he needs to go to the herbalist.
He needs to go to the herbalist. This is no. He needs to, because at least those herbalists can pray to God and God, please, can you rescue this guy for us, or just protect your son in which you created, please. I'm serious. I'm serious.
Oh, fuck, man. Oh.
I'm serious. I have no word to say about Timo Werner. I don't know, man. Like,
but no, Morata was worse. So it's I would say Torres of these is probably Torres being the best is like really bad for the other three. But he did have a pretty good season in 13-14 or no 12-13. And, you know, he scored against Barcelona. He won the corner that won Chelsea the Champions League or helped them win it. So I'd go Torres, Shevchenko, Werner, Morata. But Werner can go worse. He can go lower because he has more time to like sink.
but the funny part is at least Alvaro Morata can score with an head. Please, what does Timo Werner need to score about? We know across and not Alvaro Morata is the specialist in that. Please, can someone tell me what specialist does Timo Werner have? IWF. That's it.
Wait.
That's it.
Wait, Daniel, did you just wipe your forehead?
Yeah, with a paper towel.
That's like what preachers do, basically.
I don't. It got hot in here all of a sudden. I don't know.
No, because Daniel, if you're a preacher, can we get some help?
Please, we need help. Timo Werner need help, man.
No, because I think it's no, and guys, it's to the point now where like I think you need divine intervention and you need somebody just to spiritually try, because this is now mental now. Because the physical, I think we have exceeded every physical capability. So training, everything that's done. And if you've done so, and guys, you can laugh all you want. My uncle told me stories of guys rising from the dead, ghosts, and so forth. Stuff is real. Stuff is this juju stuff is real.
AJ,
so you can laugh all you want.
The best
my
part
uncle
about
has
it is,
told me stories.
AJ, you know the best part in Africa? They call it sacrifice. Ebo. They need to carry a sacrifice for Timo Werner. Carry a big sacrifice in the middle of the night and pray to God. Please accept it as an act of ibadah in Islam. That's it. Carry a sacrifice in the middle of life. I'm serious. That's what the Timo Werner is now. Carry in the middle of life, carry a sacrifice and pray to God. Oh Lord, accept this as an act of ibadah in Islam. Please rescue and restore your brother, your son, in which you created from the dead. That's it. I don't know what to say about Timo Werner anymore, man. I don't know, man.
Just restore your son.
Because my thing is that, trust me, if you actually make this thing like a hashtag thing, there are people in Nigeria, Chelsea fans in Nigeria, who
will do it.
Ask them, they'll do it.
No, then
they'll do it.
We need it. All Chelsea fans need it, please. That's what we need. Timo Werner needs to, like, in the middle of night, kneel down and tell God, I know I have sinned. Forgive me my sin. I know. It is true. It's true. It's true. I don't know what to say about him anymore, man.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
It's true, man.
Oh, God in heaven. Oh, Lord.
You know, you laugh so hard that, like, blood loses from your brain.
No. Basically, like, the size of my body is now paining me now. That's the thing. Shout out to your boy YB YB Jerry, who says Turbo Timo situation is more than bad. This is a spiritual problem. At this point, he needs to go back to his village and see the elders and the witch doctor.
Thank you very much.
And then King of says that Tammy's Nigerian must have.
It's true. Please, can you bring out the full name of Tammy Abraham, please? Because we need to have a conversation about Tammy Abraham's full name. Maybe part of the full name affected Timo Werner. Timo is Germany. Maybe half of his ancestors from Africa that he needs to go back home and pray. Because Tammy Abraham's name is long. Tamara Hebi Bakuma Abraham.
No, he said that Tammy is Nigerian. Must have done something to Timo Werner.
I don't get it.
So maybe Tammy.
Tammy is bearing T. Timo Werner is twist T. No difference.
Oh God in heaven, man.
I was laughing at the sound you made when you read the super chat. You're like, It's gone. He sound like an uncle.
Yeah, no. That's how we say. So his name is Kevin Ogenetega Tamaribi Bakumo Abraham.
You see, full Nigerian name, full, not even difference, full. Please, we need to understand. If is Timo Werner being an African name, I need to know. We need to find his ancestor and ask, is Timo blah 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 African name? Please, we need to understand. Look at
Actually,
Abraham, Kelvin, Ogenetega,
does
Tamara Hebi,
Timo
Bakuma,
Werner
Abraham.
have
See?
African roots?
Let's ask. He needs to have an African root. We need to know.
Wait. His childhood story plus
Untold bibliography.
I don't believe it.
Now, Timo Werner is to say his name. There's not an African.
He doesn't have a middle name.
Middle name, an ancestor as an Africa.
No middle name. Wow, no middle name.
Interesting. And his name is actually Timo. It's not like Timothy or.
Is it Timothy? If it is Timothy, there's a problem. That's an African name. That's a problem.
It's Timo. His name is Timo.
That's Timothy.
Oh Lord.
Timo.
You actually give your people name like Chief or Ga. We need to have a conversation about what African name we want to give Timo, because it has come to this sense that we need to have a conversation about that.
Because you know that I have 8 names apparently. So I have. So my father gave me a name. My mom gave me a name. I think my granddad on both sides. So you have like about 30 names. Because basically the name that people know me by is the one that's from my mom's village. The one that's on the passports is from my dad's, because the one that your dad gives you, that's the one that's your official middle name. I prefer the one from my mom's village. That's basically, people know me by that name because again, my real name is that's a slave colonial name, so I dropped it. So, no, because it's funny because when I was in university, like I had this Ghanaian guy who is called Kwabena, and then I told him my name and said, "Man, that's your slave name." I was like, "Oh my god, yeah, you're right." And then for that, they said, "You know what? From this day forth, people will know me by a different name. That name is now done. So people only know me by this new name that I have." So.
Yeah, I have 4 names. So the first half is like Anglican Bible white, and then the second half is like the African part. So I'm cool. Daniel Mark, that's like the one part, and then Omuyo called to look, that's like that part.
Uganda. Oh no! For me, I hate my anglicized name. Like I hate it. I'm
cool with it. It's all right.
Oh no! Oh, I hate it. Like my Nigerian name. My full Nigerian name, nobody can pronounce it.
Can I be honest with you? And I want to expose you, but your name probably came from Black people. If you think about it, where that name comes from. If you research in the Bible, like most people were Black.
Gatlock shot, please. Bring Gatlock shot.
It came from what?
Can you bring Gatlock shot, please?
Those weren't white people. So. You guys got to help me with the pronunciation here. Does that have a meaning? Like
Ola Baba means Ola is like rich. Baba means someone that has given back to somebody. Baba, like a father.
I was hoping it would be, like this guy's ass.
We have suffered at the Chelsea fans. We have some Greek academic striker. My Lord in heaven. Shevchenko, Morata, Torres, a little bit. Now
Werner's horrible, man. Werner's horrible, man.
This is bad.
There's no use for. So look, let's look. We've abused this man enough.
You also give that a name. Gatlock is something else, man.
We've abused him enough.
I have my own name.
Chuku Dani
Olamide.
Wait, let's this what we do. Let me bring
Bashuai.
this thing. Wait, he called you Bashuai.
Chill.
So, thanks for the dub, Umbani, man, Umbani. Oh, by the way, trust me, I'll let me not ruin it for you guys. I'm gonna post something on the main channel because we did like a members hangouts with Umbani. If you hear what Umbani said, let me not ruin this for you. You will laugh your face off because Umbani, this guy is Nigerian to the core. To the core. So when you hear what this guy says, basically you'll see. So Umbani says, Tammy told his village elders that Timo Werner took his spot. This is what it is. Tammy is unhappy that he's been benched. And do you think he would just sit and be benched? He may have told his elders and so forth that put a curse on this dude. But what he didn't really reckon for was that you can put a curse on this guy, he still won't be dropped. That's the kind of issue that we're dealing with.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that.
Because Tammy would have to. Tammy didn't play for Nigeria; he played for England. So the chances that he's in contact with his elders is probably small.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying.
Well, let me ask.
Okay,
go.
Yeah, and then Osasuna says, "Look, De Jong, Chief Oga, if they win it." So obviously reference to Sevilla. If Sevilla wins this, Osasuna, I'll give you 5 billion. And I'm not going to tell you which currency. I'm going to give you 5 billion in it. I'll give you 5 billion.
You get the shillings. 5 billion.
How much would 5 billion kobo be?
Approximation.
I think it's because back in the day, you felt like you could buy Chewiko.
Can I mention that before we started the podcast, before I even came in, Abdullahi and HH were complaining about Nigerian. So this whole episode has been so scripted on accident.
No, because back in the day, look, you know, like you come on. In the 90s, you could buy with.
Do you remember this suit that we have in Africa? They call it Gowan.
What's the name of that chewing cup? Because don't you think in the buy with the cup?
I'm forgetting the name.
And this chewing cup, it's like
we have suffered, man. We have suffered.
It's right now. If you show cup to anybody, there'll be split at you.
We have suffered, man. We have suffered.
I think
Roman need to rescue us.
I think it's like 600 naira to £1 now. I think that's the thing. I think it's about 600 naira to £1. That's where it is right now. So what do you think one kobo can get you, man? Okay, so guys, let's talk about Lukaku, man. Oh god, what?
This guy got a flashback about chewing gum. No, okay. My issue with the Lukaku thing would be, why didn't you just get him when you could have signed Morata? So this could have avoided the whole sequence of events that has led to Timo Werner. All they had to do was just sign who Emanalo wanted in the first place. And that was 2017 when he was at Everton? Instead of him going to Manchester United, you sign him. Problem solved. But now you're going to have to spend 90 million when you only had to spend 70 the first time, in addition to what you paid for Werner, in addition to what you paid for Morata. So probably just should have listened to Kante. But then again, Kante probably is still at Chelsea, and is that a overall positive? Probably not.
But Dan, you always take the side of the players because obviously you're a humanist in that sense. If you're Lukaku, what do you do?
I don't think I leave Inter.
Fabrizio just tweeted
unless
Fabrizio just tweeted.
Hey, my friend, let him talk. Let a guy talk, man.
Unless if Chelsea win the Champions League, see, Hazard did that too, where Chelsea won the Champions League and then you went to the team who won the Champions League. The likelihood is they won't win it again for a while. So maybe Chelsea losing in the semifinal, Lukaku would think, oh, I could be the one to get them over the hump. Or if they lose the final, Lukaku could think, they get to a Champions League final. They didn't win it. I could be the missing piece, and he probably would be in that sense. Not to win it, but he would just be like a better goal scoring solution than the ones that they have at hand right now. But I don't know if you feel like leaving Inter, given the love that Kante has for him. It seems to be a good fit, like his style in Italy. The team around him is fairly solid. They're going to be champions, so maybe you want to defend it. Yeah, from Lukaku's point of view, I don't know if it makes total sense to go back to Chelsea, except for the fact that the last time you were there, you basically had no political standing in terms of, you're an 18-year-old kid who was bought for 16, 17, 18 million, somewhere in there. Drogba's in the team, Torres is in the team. There's so many people above you. And then you go on loan, you're on Everton, and Chelsea bought Demba Ba, Torres. Like, they're buying all these guys, and Mourinho was never really going to use them. So maybe you think, if I go there with a 90 million price tag, I'm the guy. I have to be. And if that's what he's always wanted, Drogba's heir apparent, etc., etc., it could make sense. But
what do you think his view on Chelsea is in 2021? Is he still like, man, I still want to be that guy at Chelsea? He still has an affinity, because Pogba always had an affinity with Man United and always want to improve Manchester United. Does Lukaku still have that affinity with Chelsea? That's no. Inter was just a detour. Chelsea is always, I wanted to prove myself.
I came to the conclusion maybe 3-4 years ago that I don't think Lukaku was ever really a Chelsea fan in that way. I think he was just always a Didier Drogba fan. Like, in the same way that people aren't fans of Juventus necessarily, but they are Cristiano fans. You might not be a fan. Well, I think Barca and Messi is it's more of an overlap because he's just been there forever. But yeah, I don't know Lukaku's loyalty to Chelsea outside of just that's where Didier Drogba used to play. Now, if Chelsea come with a bag and they can actually do business with whoever his agent is, I'm not sure if it's Raiola now or if it's someone else, but
with Zaha agent is the agent of Lukaku.
Cool.
It's very close to Roman Abramovich.
It could happen. Like, I genuinely think it could happen. I'd be hesitant if I was Lukaku to pull the trigger on it. But if Drogba makes the call, of course. I think
this is all because of Uncle Didier.
Listen, if Abramovich or Tuchel or somebody, if Petr Cech was like, look, we could get this signing over the line, Didier, all you got to do is call him and say, come back home. I think Lukaku probably does it. But, that's just me trying to game plan how I would make it happen. Because the chances are that Haaland's going to Manchester City. So you're not going to make that happen. So who's the next best available forward? Or who's the next best forward you can make available is the better way to put it.
So before I come to Abdullahi, if it's between Haaland or Lukaku, you'd go with Lukaku if that was the choice.
It's not as easy because Lukaku isn't as young as he used to be. So I think he's 27.
27 is youngish in today's world. Look at Benzema is what, 32,
true,
33?
But Haaland is
20.
He's 20 years old. He's the next hot prospect. He's probably worth the money in terms of, even if he flops, you could sell him for more. If Lukaku doesn't work out, maybe you can't make the money back. If I had the choice between the two, even though I believe in Bundesliga tax and I don't think Haaland is as good as y'all say he is, I'd take Haaland just because I think the upside is worth it. But if I'm realistic and if I'm going for Lukaku, because I just don't think Haaland's – I think pursuing Haaland is a waste of time.
Yeah.
So just get Lukaku in as soon as you can. Make him seem like he's the guy that you really want. That will probably help you in trying to sign him, because nobody wants – you were going after Haaland. I'm not even really the guy you want. I'm just your plan B. I don't want to be anybody's plan B. If you want me, I'm your plan A. And if Lukaku has that mentality, which I think he does, I think you have to, do it that way. So.
Side note before I talk about Lukaku. I saw a stat yesterday and I was about to cry.
Don't cry.
29 chances created, 21 missed, 9 scored.
Who?
Timo Werner. 29 chances created, 21 missed.
Mama, you did take the bread from mommy's.
She broke it.
Now, I'm going to ask you what he needs to check.
Yeah, he's got to check something from mommy. So
Yeah. I'm going to ask you what he needs to check. So who that is and what he needs to check. So I'm like, 2 questions. Who is that and what do you need to check?
it sounds, if I had to guess, younger sister.
Yeah, younger sister. Yeah.
When he's on younger sister, and he's got to check something in the oven, probably, because fast is about to be broken soon. So,
okay, so I was like, who was that and what did you need to check?
That's my younger sister. So my mom came for bread. So she just bought the bread for us to break our fast. So she was coming to get the one from in the fridge.
Hey, Daddy,
we got it.
Yeah, man.
Bro, it's breaking the fast is probably a big deal, man. I'm hungry.
It's if not eating all day.
Who cares if Abdullahi's doing live stream? I'm hungry. So,
but do you know the funny thing that for some reason I'm fasting without even having to fast because I've just realized that I've not actually eaten anything or all I've had.
Yeah, what I just ate right now is the first thing I ate all day. So
like I've just had M&Ms and that's it. But literally, I'm not drank or eaten anything.
I'm gonna eat something else after we're finished, though. So.
Oh no! I have to. Yeah, I have to. Man, no, like I'm starving. I am.
But you
starving.
can't live off peanut M&Ms, bro. Like,
do you know how guys in the live chats? I'm gonna say this right now, and this is my thing. This is the greatest snack of all time.
No,
M&M peanuts. M&M peanuts. Because I know you guys
read
have
the
Reese's,
details on the back.
Read
the details on the back. Like how much? What's the serving size?
I won't. But basically, because I know you guys in America, you do Reese's, which is very nice. Because I've had Reese's before, but
Reese's
these M&M peanuts.
Man has the whole Cheez-It box. Eat the food, man. Eat, bro.
Yeah, no, for me, no. These are the greatest snacks of all time. M&M peanuts. I don't care what anyone else says, live chats. Because the
crispy ones are pretty good, man.
And
the crispy M&Ms are pretty good.
It shows you how cheap I am. Every time, whenever like things are on sale and there's like a red thing.
You buy like 3 or 4 at once?
Do you know how excited I get whenever I see it's red? Even if it's a trick, because it's always a markup price. So they just do that to sort of trick that, it's really low, but no, you're still playing markup. It's like popcorn. Do you know how much? Because when I was studying business studies, they said that popcorn has the highest markup price of any product.
Because it's cheap as fuck.
It's like 10p to make. And they said for what? $4-5. And that huge bag is about 5p, 10p to make. And you buy it for 3%. They say it has the highest markup price of any product. So Lukaku, man, like Lukaku.
I think Daniel talked about Bundesliga top and everything. This is where my issue with Haaland is. We're gonna pay 150 million for Haaland. We know realize his agent. We know he's gonna demand a lot of money. If Haaland flop on his first season, it's over. You need to deactivate your Twitter account and your YouTube account, because the amount of abuse we're gonna get as a Chelsea fans, I don't think I can take that, because it's gonna be too much. Another record signing became flop, not even flop, became garbage. I don't want that hashtag on my head, please. I don't want. We've had so many flop: Shevchenko, Torres, Morata, Limulena, now, and in Haaland. I don't want that scenario. And people will say Haaland is young. I get Haaland is young. I get that. I'm not worried about that. But I am worried about the price tag. Because I have seen it before. It's a script that has been written before. Every record signing we sign become class A, or they end up in Siberia. I don't want that anymore. I don't even know where you place Timo Werner now. Maybe it's in Siberia or somewhere else. I don't know. Because I'm confused. Haaland will score goals. I'm not worried about Haaland. He will score goals. But my worry is the price tag and Mino Raiola. Because we know how Mino Raiola works. We know. That man loves money. I don't. Apart from money, I really want to know what Mino Raiola love.
Whoa,
that man just
Abdullahi, just quickly, Raiola is Haaland's agent.
Yes.
Oh, that's not happening. It's not happening.
It's not happening. It's not. It's not gonna happen.
I feel like Lukaku changed.
Lukaku changed his agent. Yeah, he changed his agent.
Lukaku changed his agent probably after the Manchester United
because agent.
The move to Manchester United happened in large part because Pogba was a Raiola client. He was boys with Lukaku. They were in like LA chilling and stuff. And Lukaku recruited Pogba recruited Lukaku to United. And their agent was the same. So it just made sense in that way. Wow. I forgot to think about Haaland's agent.
And agent, you know the scary part? Granaskia and Mino Raiola as they are the worst possible enemies in world football. That is the worst possible enemy you don't want to face. Granaskia and Mino Raiola as you can't even negotiate a deal between both of them. Because I need to understand, apart from money, what does Mino Raiola want? Because I don't understand. Because I'm hearing like he wants to make Alan the highest paid player in world football ahead of Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. I said, what? What? Are you kidding me? So you're telling me, Alan, we're gonna pay 150 million for Dortmund first. After that, so you're telling me he's gonna come to Chelsea and sign a 600k a week? Hell, that is not happening. I'm sorry. It's not gonna. No. It's not. I don't care how many generational talent he is. No. If that happens, I am demanding a 50 goals in a season for Alan. If that happens, I don't care. If that happens, I'm demanding. I'm gonna sign the paper, the receipt. I demand and I dare him to score me 50 goals because of that price I got in his head. I dare him. So so
basically, between Lukaku or Haaland, who would you choose?
I'll go for Lukaku because of experience, and he has played in EPL before. So I will take my risk on Romelu Lukaku.
How about this?
Okay.
How about you go for Lukaku now? And because of how young Haaland is, you'll probably get another bite at the apple in 6, 7, 8 years, really, if you want him. You know, because he's probably not going to stay at a club longer than 5, 6, 7 years. So if you really want Haaland, you can wait until he develops further, and then later down the line, when it's Barca, Madrid, who knows where they'll be in 5, 6 years, but you can get another bite at the apple. For Lukaku, if you want him, this is probably the time to get him this season or this summer or next summer. Do you do it before the Euros? Do you do it before the World Cup?
You might as well wait, you know.
That's the decision you make. So for Haaland, maybe you do wait. Maybe he gets a new agent that Chelsea are more fond of doing business with. Like it makes more sense to go for Lukaku. I know the report comes from the Sun, so I'm not sure how reliable that is, but apparently that guy that works for the Sun is somewhat reliable. So I don't know. Either way, either option is better than what currently exists. So if Chelsea really want to spend money, the striker position is the one that they need to put the most bread down on.
Yeah,
like the wingers are solved. The midfield is solid for now.
Defense is fine.
Goalkeeper seems to be okay. If an Oblak or a De Gea becomes available, okay, maybe you consider it. But the striker position is the one where if Chelsea are willing to spend 200 million in a summer,
Daniel.
I know it would be nice though.
I know it doesn't like nice.
If you feel like putting 150 in a particular position, that's the one to do it in. So
I know doesn't like him. I would love Roman to make it official. Harry Kane to Chelsea.
It's not happening.
It's not gonna happen. It will not happen. I know you don't like Harry Kane because of it. He hasn't won.
But also Kane would never move to Chelsea, man.
If Kane is smart and wise enough, you need to get the heck out of Tottenham Hotspur as soon as possible.
You know who would love it though?
Do you think he would go from Tottenham to Chelsea?
If he has an ambition, he will go.
No, but to Chelsea, knowing the history of Tottenham.
Ashley Cole did it from Arsenal to Chelsea. William Gallas, same thing.
Tottenham and Chelsea is a difference, bro. Chelsea and
And-
Arsenal are not rivals the way that Tottenham and Chelsea are.
And like William
They would
Gallas
come
had
for
a
his
step.
family.
Gallas had a step in between. You know, he went to Arsenal, then he went to Spurs. Even if we go back in history, and this is the reverse, but someone like Jimmy Greaves, who's I think top 10 in Chelsea goals, maybe like top 7 or something. He's Spurs all-time goal scorer. He went from Chelsea to Spurs, but in between he went to Milan for a season, and then he went back, and then he went to Spurs because I guess he got homesick, wanted to go to London. Like going from Spurs or Chelsea to Chelsea or Spurs, that doesn't happen. Like he would need a stop in between, and even then, I still don't think he'd do it because England and all that means. Now, people who would love it are the proper Chelsea fans. You know, England striker, number 1 guys. people would love that, but you know, you risk being a lesser degree of Sol Campbell in that sense.
And I think this popped into my head now. I will kind of remember something now. I think Timo Werner playing as a number 9 in Chelsea is worst because now you're telling I'm being serious. You're telling the board now that I need a proper number 9. Give me a number 9. It's showing the board that I'm playing my system and it's missing a sitter. What do you want me to do as the manager? I am giving him my chance and it's missing a sitter. I need a proper number 9. Roman, get that checkbook out. I need a proper number. Give me if you want me to win the title, give me a number 9. I've done enough job for you to prove that I'm the right manager. That is what Tuchel is doing. No, we can back on this, but how many chances do we want to give Timo Werner to miss? You can't keep saying this. A top tier guy will not miss this kind of misses missing. That is absurd and ridiculous for a professional player like him to do. So he's telling the board, I am doing whatever I want to do for this man to become a better player. He keep missing chances. What do you want me to do? I can't do anything because he's missing chances. So that is sending a message to the board. I need the number 9. I need the proper number 9.
I agree. I think Tuchel's done enough in this half season to show that if you got him the correct pieces, next season could be a good season.
Exactly.
And if he wins, but this is the worry though. If he wins the Champions League, do you think they have the idea of if you win the Champions League, then it's good enough? So why do we need to spend?
No.
We need to
see, if this was Daniel Levy, he'd be like, "Oh, you've won the Champions League, fine, cool." Which is similar to what he did with Pochettino, because they reached the Champions League final. They should have been rewarded with a transfer kitty. They obviously wasn't rewarded, and that is what's now led to the whole split.
But you remember what happened after Mourinho won the league?
I do.
And after Kante won the league, they both didn't get the players they wanted.
Exactly. But the problem is, this is what the problem is.
But I do believe though that if he was to win it, because it's Abramovich and so forth, and because it is something that Chelsea have always been looking for, to striker, they were like, all right, we need a striker here. This is what we've always had. I've given you this Champions League here. Give it to us. But I can see a point though that if you manage to
smuggle,
you see, because it's different. Because let's just keep it real. I believe.
Imagine Timo Werner scores the Champions League winning goal or something stupid like that.
No. Let's hope not. Let's just hope not. You see, for Abramovich,
this is what the problem is.
No. I believe. Oh, sorry. I'll come to your problem just quickly. I believe Abramovich wants the Champions League more than the league. 100%. And I think, 2012 was weird because 2012 was not a new team. That was an old team who did what they should have done back in 2005 and in 2008. This is a whole new team and a much younger team and a team that is trying to rebuild. This is a completely different from the 2012 team, this is them at the end of their run. These guys are at the very beginning of their run. So there was no rebuilding thing there. So I think it's if you win the Champions League, and we are a young team, if we have a striker, maybe we can form some sort of a European domination here if we just put a striker into this team. So I would like it.
This is it here. Olivier Giroud said he's leaving in the summer. It's been confirmed already. He's gonna leave in the summer.
I think
Abraham is
50
put
million?
on sale, 50 million.
50
on
million.
sales. Yes. West Ham, Wolf, so many Premier League teams want to buy Tammy Abraham. Now you tell me we don't need the striker. Even if we win the UCL, we're gonna, because Tuchel is already said it. I want a number 9 that will score me goals. I cannot put my trust on Timo Werner. A lot of chess fans has already be having PTSD, hypertension. Imagine Timo Werner next year. I'm imagining my brain what they're gonna have apart from hypertension. Maybe high blood pressure, because the kind of chances he's been given to Timo Werner and he's missing it. It's getting to a stage that when I watch the Super League, when the fans cause riot, I can't wait for the fans to come into the stadium. And Timo Werner missing these chances, I can guarantee you one thing: it's not gonna last a whole season before it gets baptized from the fans. I'm serious, because now the lucky Timo Werner is having no fans. If there was fans in that stadium, Timo Werner will not last a season. He will get abused. He will get cursed. He will get so many things about him. It will make him quit Chelsea and leave. It will. That's how Chelsea fans are, because they expect you, when you get that kind of player, they expect you to score that goals, deliver. That's why I said we will go for a striker in the summer. Haaland or Lukaku, I don't know, but we will get a top tier striker number 9 for me.
Let's because I'm actually, because my stomach is actually rumbling right now. So let me bring in this because basically that's food that you just flashed and everything just already made me hungry already right now. So and I'm sure Ablaki's sister won't be happy that we're keeping her big brother.
You can only live on M&Ms for so long, bro.
Guys, this is true. And I need to call my digital guys. This is now for our throwback. Our throwback time has returned.
Hold on. Let's guess. Pick it, and then me and Abdullahi will guess.
It's already picked.
I know, but like, don't show us. Who do you think he picks, Abdullahi?
Peter Cech?
We already did check.
You'll never guess it.
I'm gonna say
Michael
Essien. You will never guess it.
Sean Wright Phillips.
Okay.
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
Did you say Nnamdi Azikiwe?
Nnamdi Azikiwe.
That's our airport. Jesus. Okay. It's not Nnamdi Azikiwe, nor is it Murtala Mohammed. It's neither of those. Nor is it MK Abiola. Or Tijani Babangida. Okay, so this is it.
Celestin Babayaru.
You will never guess. So this is the throwback of actually live chat. Who do you think it is? Let me ask live chat. So live chat.
LeBouf. I changed my mind.
Live chat. Who do you think it is? So it's saying Shevchenko,
Gianfranco Zola,
Khalid Boulahrouz.
Why did he wear number 9?
Yes.
Hasselbank. Well, at the moment, nobody has actually gotten it right. Pedro.
John Cena.
So, guys, here is it, man. And you would have never guessed this.
Dennis Wise. Mo Salah.
What if ...
No, I don't subscribe to that theory.
Did someone just say the Joloboti?
Jilabodi.
Why don't you subscribe to the what if theory?
Jilabodi made the club money, by the way. They signed him for like 2 million. They sold him for 12 or something like that. So
Marina is a weird ass, man. I don't know what
that was an Emanalo thing. He signed somebody from Nantes who was on like 6 months left in their deal or a year left, and then sold them to, I think, Sunderland. The Salah, if Salah stays at Chelsea and doesn't go on loan to Fiorentina and eventually Roma, he doesn't develop into the player that we know him today. I say the same thing about Kevin De Bruyne. I say the same thing about Lukaku. I could say the same thing about who's the other one? Maybe not Courtois, but those three, De Bruyne, Lukaku, and Salah, they all needed to leave the Chelsea kind of ecosystem in order to develop into the players they needed to become. If De Bruyne doesn't go to Wolfsburg, he's not the player we see at City. If Salah doesn't go to Italy, he's not the player we see at Liverpool. If Lukaku doesn't go to Everton and doesn't stay at Everton for a long period of time, he's not the striker that we see at United, but more so Inter. You can't really give Chelsea the benefit of the doubt and saying that, if he stays at Chelsea, he's a Premier League all-time scorer record. Like,
okay, so you said that Salah had to leave to become the player. That there is no way. Because
Chelsea don't develop players. Chelsea don't develop players. They don't take the time to develop you. They want finished products.
Yeah,
that's why he had to go on loan. And in Serie A, Fiorentina, that's a place where they'll help you develop. Roma, more so, we want finished products, but it's still a league where you can develop technically on a better level than I think you would in England.
So because did Hazard develop at Chelsea, or was or is somewhat of a finished article?
He was he was the League One player of the season. He won Lille the league in 2012. He was the finished article as soon as he came. His development was a natural progression, but it wasn't Mourinho making him better. Mourinho just used the attributes to win the games that he needed to win. Kante the same. I don't think he wasn't ever coached. He was managed. Eden Hazard. It kind of like in the same way that you say, if you give Vinicius Pep and he's actually coached instead of being managed by Zidane, you could get something better from him, right? Hazard was similarly, he wasn't coached. He was just told, do this and score the goals to win me games. And that's what he did. Salah needed to be coached because you could tell from Basel that the attributes he had were really raw. He was a streaky finisher, very fast, a capable player, but not a polished one. And that needed game time, repetition, confidence. And then on top of that, it needed someone like Klopp to see it and then extract even more from it.
Mm-hmm.
Kante, I don't know if he would have done that. Mourinho, he's not doing that. So it's a fantastic story that Salah stays at Chelsea and the progression that he went on for the next 5 years or 4 years, I think. It happens in the same way, but he needed all of those steps in order to get to where he got to.
I have a theory about Salah.
And Chelsea don't provide that platform for people.
Danny, I think, remind me if I'm right, was it not that year that Salah in that we had Hazard, Oscar, Mata, KDB? Wasn't that year?
Salah came, I think, the winter of 2014. Or no, 2015, was it?
2015 or 2014?
I can't remember.
2014.
2014. Yeah.
In Switzerland, Chelsea signed him in 2014 for a fee of £11 million.
2015 was Cuadrado.
Cuadrado, yes. So when Salah, when we had Salah, there was Hazard, there was Oscar, there was Juan Mata, right? I think were there KDB then when they had Salah?
No, that was the same window. So Chelsea let De Bruyne go, they let Mata go, and because they let those two players go, they bought Salah from Basel.
This guy's Chelsea had De Bruyne and Salah. Look at these players now.
No, they didn't. They didn't. Essentially, Salah was a De Bruyne replacement.
I think we had Andre Scholle that also.
Yeah, Scholle, yeah. So it was Hazard, Willian, Schürrle, and Salah that 14 season. Because he scored against Arsenal in like the 6-0. You guys remember that one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And that showed what he was, fast player, running behind, he can finish, but he would have needed game after game after game after game in order to just develop. Mm-hmm. And to get development, he had to go on loan. So if he stays at Chelsea, he's just another Andre Schürrle, probably.
I think. Who's
retired, by the way?
Imagine. Hazard suffered a lot in Chelsea. Why I say he suffered is because he doesn't have the tools and the implement that we have now. Take out Limolena, the spiritual man that need prayer. Take him out. We had Kai Havertz. We have ZH.
Yes.
We had Kai Havertz. We had ZH. We had take out Limolena. We have this attacking player. Add that into that mix. HH. I think Ada will be ranked more highly more than the way people are ranking him now, because Ada suffered in Chelsea because there was no tools and implementation in those players we had then for him to kind of showcase his talent in Chelsea in European tour, not in EPL. Because imagine you have this kind of caliber of players surrounded him together. Imagine what Hazard would do. Just imagine what he would do. The kind of player we had.
Hazard never had the proper tools around him. Hence why for a long time he was a one-man team.
He had too many pragmatic managers with him.
So I'm like, so do you agree with Daniel that there was no way we could have seen the Salah now at Chelsea?
Yes, because Chelsea doesn't develop. We don't develop player. We only buy finished product, and that's what we do. So that's my problem with our recruitment has been shambolic ever since Michael Emenalu went. That's why I don't want to. I see. I wish I'm in the boardroom of Chelsea Football Club. Oh my God, HH. Marina would have been sacked, would have been gone a long time ago. Because some ridiculous signing she has been brought into Chelsea Football Club. When I just shake my head, DJ Leboti, Baba Rahman, Bula. What the heck? What kind of player is that? What? So I can't figure it out. The way Marina do that transfer in terms of recruitment, because ever since she's been promoted from our job to the sporting director, HH, Chelsea Football Club is being screwed. We've been screwed over ever since she became the director of football, because all what she does is she make money. Endorsement with Nike. Please tell me, those jerseys we've been making, none of them has been. This is the most beautiful jerseys. It's been shambles. It's been worse ever since we have an endorsement with Nike. But the Yokohama tire is. I can even say okay, but ever since Marina took over, our jersey, Nike jersey, I don't know the difference between Nigerian jersey is even better. It's far better and more presentable than the Chelsea jersey. That's how bad it is in terms of the job Marina Ganaskia has been doing. Yes.
Are we talking about Chelsea's kids right now?
I'm talking about you because it's like I don't understand exactly. I do.
Why is he on the Summer Jam screen? But by the way, you know how Ed Woodward, he's gonna resign at the end of the season. I think I saw something to the effect that Manchester United are gonna look into taking Granovsky from Chelsea.
Yeah, Daniel, I saw that and I'm dancing. I'm dancing like this. That I'm dancing because I want that gun. I'm dancing like, please United, please Glazers, I'm begging in the name of God, just buy Ganaskia. You be the richest club in the just buy Ganaskia. Buy it. So don't worry, when Ganaskia buy DJ Leboti, don't worry. When she buy Baba Ramon, don't cross her. Just accept it. Because as a fans, I have accepted it a long time ago. Because that's her job. Because she's been promoted from a job to director of football now. Now we're as a club with school. All what she does is money. I need to understand Roman's brain that
she's a mathematician, man.
She's
good at math.
I understand she wants to make money. I get that. She's a lady. She does. I get that.
But hey, easy. Don't be sexist. Whoa, that came out really messed up. That was really messed up. She wants to make money. She's a lady. I get it.
I get that.
I'm like, can you expand on what you just said? What do you mean by she's a lady? Let expand. See,
when there was Roman, there was Emenalu. I get that. We had like Shevchenko, we had other kind of guys. I get that. Emenalu left.
You said that she's a lady. She wants to make money. Can you expand on the fact her being a lady that she wanted to make money?
I understand. She wants. Okay. Someone needs to tell me if maybe she's adopted to Roman or maybe she's Roman's side chick. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. I need an explanation for that. I'm serious. I'm serious. Maybe Granaskia is Roman's. I don't know. Because the relationship between both of them, the two of them.
You're talking about?
Can I just say, how did we go from a
Stop
throwback
talking. That's
about
no.
Mohamed
That's
Salah.
not right. That's no.
How do we go from
Chill, chill,
a
chill. No.
throwback of Mo Salah to now
Daniel,
talking
if I
about
look at those
Marina?
players we bought, I am
No.
bought.
That's crazy. That's wild speculation, man. Don't do that. Don't do that, man. She's there because she's good at her job, not because of some fantasy that people have in their mind.
No.
She's banging the owner. Like, stop.
No, I'm talking about what I'm. My scenario is those players we've bought in Chelsea. Those players we've bought, majority of them have become flop. Our job exactly, I don't know.
Her job is to make sure that the money that comes in is more than the money that goes out. That's her job.
Checks and balances.
It's not like
So
the whole.
She has no football knowledge.
Then why can't we hire director of football then? If that job is that, why can't we hire director of football? Someone that actually knows.
Because that will create conflict.
You see, the issue is you shouldn't be angry at Marina. You should be angry at who hired Marina. Same thing with Pirlo. You shouldn't be angry at Pirlo. Agnelli and Nedved have blood on their hands. So you shouldn't show your anger at Marina. She is just what she is. You can't just tell, make better football decisions. No, I'm like, no. She's really very good at being balancing the checks and balancing the numbers. She's very good at that. But
I need to understand this.
I need to make the correct football decisions.
English. What does technical advisor means, please? Because that was what check was being brought in. The technical advisor, not director of football. Because
you advise probably on the football matters, but you don't make the final decision.
But doesn't Marina make the final decision before check? Why was check brought in? Is it going to be the intermediary between them, or I don't get?
The person who controls the money generally makes the final decision, no matter where you look. You know, if you're paying for someone's meal and they start ordering a whole bunch of stuff, like, hey, like, this is coming off my credit card. This is like, I'm the one that has the money. So you can order A, B, C, and then we can choose what you want from that. You're not going to buy everything and eat like, no, because I'm the one that's paying for it. So that's her job, is to make sure that the money that's coming in is more than the money that's going out, to make Chelsea, maybe not necessarily, but to make sure that Chelsea are sustainable, profitable business. That's her job.
That's her job.
So the football side of it is almost secondary, which is my issue.
That's my issue.
I think she should have an equal, or that her job should be filled by someone who has the same analytical, economic brain, but also matches it with some football thing, kind of like what Bayern do. You know, like Rummenigge has the economic side of football down, but he's also a football guy. Abramovich puts in place who he trusts, and the people that because he comes from business and he doesn't come from football, the people who he tends to trust are football people or business people rather.
Business people,
so
not football people.
She was a known quantity to him from their business days in Russia.
I
trust her to run my business.
Yeah, I wonder. I just wonder if HH is like the owner of Chelsea Football Club. Imagine how many players HH will have signed as the owner. And I don't think Marina will ask if HH is the owner. Be like, hey, come here, I beg, come here. What's with this player they buy for me? I want to win Champions League now because I'm a CL match and I want to win Champions League. Please, we have to win that UCL. Get to be this.
No. We will.
Also,
this
is
fight,
last thing. Last thing. I don't like. Just back to the Salah thing. I don't like how when they loan people to Italian clubs in particular, Italian clubs like Roma, Milan, they're really big on the loan plus option to buy. And I don't know if that's Italian legal law that there has to be an option to buy in the loans, but that's something that ruins Salah's development. That, like, okay, you send him to Italy for him to develop. Cool. But there's a clause in there that says if he does well at Roma, you can get him for a certain price at the end of the year. If we look at the Tomori situation, it's kind of similar. So Lampard isn't using Tomori. He goes to Milan. There's an option to buy in that contract. I don't like that those exist. If you want someone to develop in a different country, fine. But just make sure that that player can come back to you in the event that they develop into somebody that you would want to keep. And they don't do that. Now, again, it could be just Italian law, and if you do business with the Serie A club, that's what it is. But I think even Mourinho didn't have a choice necessarily on the loan that existed between, because I think they loaned him to Fiorentina for a year or two. Then Fiorentina wanted to loan him to Roma.
Basel from
So-
Basel to Roma. Yeah, so it's kind of iffy.
Wait, so let's guys. That's all. We need to round up because I'm really starving.
Half hopeless famished.
So Callum Dots, Keith, thoughts?
Nothing.
Yeah. So basically, I think so. I think the last thing he said was Mason Mount, fantastic game today. Opinions changing yet? And I think the last thing he said was Mount's opinions changing. Chap. Callum.
I think
Callum, dear chap.
I would a little bit.
No, it's not.
Agree that much, a little bit, not that much, not 100%, a little bit of what Callum said. Yes,
called
I
him a
think
chap,
the Madrid match, it played so well. I don't want to even debate about it. It did so well. So a little bit, we need, like, when we criticize Mason Mount, sometimes we need to understand that our criticism is not about being 18 Mason Mount. It's about him making me improve as a player.
Can I ask a question? It's an important question.
I'm listening.
Wait, why are you laughing?
I'm listening.
Wait, what meal is being prepared for breaking your fasts? What are you eating?
Mommy is preparing amala and egusi soup.
Good meal.
Yeah, with the fried chicken, because she went to the market yesterday.
You know, you need to ask your mom how. I was even asking my mom this. I need to know how to make egusi soup.
Because there are two egusi soup. There are two. One is like the one you make with normal vegetables, and the other one we make ordinarily. So it's two. It depends on the one you want.
Abdullah, you need to tell HH what he needs.
No, just when you have the vegetable, like, it's easier to make. Once you
need a wife, bro. You need a wife. A wife, a girlfriend.
Oh, thank you, Daniel, for reminding me. You said it last year.
Who is a man that just knows
you told everybody last year that you're gonna get an African wife. Where's the girlfriend?
Can you ask your mom, please, that your good friend, your idol, your guru, Halfo, please, wants to know how to make a egusi soup. You see, for me, I was never a fan of amala. I was always more of a pounded yam eba guy. So I know eba is actually very healthy for you. Amala is a bit. I'm not a fan of the taste.
Semo is good. Semolina is good too. There's semolina.
No. For me, pounded yam eba, those are, or starch. Pounded yam eba, starch. Those are the three main things that I have.
That's not.
Starch. Yeah, starch.
What
it's like
starch?
It's like this yellow. It's hard to explain, but it's this yellow thing that's like quite soft and everything. If you, I think you can have it with ewedu, or banga soup. Yes, there's a thing called banga soup. If you have it with banga soup, bro, it is one of the most delicious things you'll ever have in your life. Like, if you have this starch with banga soup and you have some plantain to the side, Lord in heaven. Or even better, pounded yam, egusi soup, and suya.
Have you eaten this rice before? You know, do you remember this African rice? Asala rice, the rice that is not like, well, it's cooked as a normal rice, but it's like different than the normal African rice we eat. Like, it's eat with different soup, different stew, and different kind of.
Really, the rice I have is jollof.
Apart from this, there's different one. There's asala. There's one that is called asala rice. It's different from jollof. That is white rice. You cook it different with a stew, but mild enough. If it tastes that for the church, you want to eat it every time.
Look, as I said, look, no, I mean, I just all I need is just some. I need to know how to make egusi.
But you can check it. It's on YouTube. You can check it on YouTube. It's easier to make it on YouTube. Just Google it.
I just ask my mom.
Ask your mom. Yeah, very easy. I'll ask her though.
But no, because what's it called? Because there's an African shop.
NASA, thank you. Okra soup. Okra.
Ooh,
NASA. Okra.
You see, for me, I'm not a fan of okra. Let's say my sister likes it. I don't. I was never.
Okra and banga soup.
You don't like okra?
Okra is so good, man. It's good. No. Those are the Igbo people eat that. The Igbo people eat okra very well.
It's an okay vegetable, man.
No. But then, have you ever had pounded yam and the egusi?
Yes. Well, I don't know about the egusi, but definitely pounded yam.
Bro, like
I would have to look at it and be like, oh yeah, I've had that before. I don't know, I don't know the names of it.
The pounded yam and egusi, Danny, if you eat it, just eat it the day you're gonna walk. Eat it and just sleep.
Oh no,
actually,
yeah. Like
tell a lie. I remember we read Things Fall Apart, in like 10th grade from Chenwa Achebe. And part of the thing was, like people had wealth in like cowrie shells and yams. So the teacher,
Hey, you got it. Your fellow
next week we can get into ugali and all that kind of stuff. But what was I gonna say? The teacher went to a Nigerian spot and she brought back like pounded yam. I think it was a goosey soup because like green kind of thing. And I'm pretty sure I had it maybe at like a party or something like that. So,
guys, thank you. This was a very interesting.
Shout out to the good teachers out there, man. There's some trash teachers, but there are good teachers out there that I remember.
What's it called? 30 days have September, April, June, and November. All the rest have 31 except February alone, which has 28 days clear and 29 in each leap year. Rest in peace, Mrs. Ganza, who taught me that when I was 6 years old, man.
Bars.
Legend. Guys, peace out. Stay true, stay real, and we'll see you next Thursday. Eddie, we love you, baby. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.